Next, I want to turn it to our Reducing Family Violence Workgroup. We have updates on Circle of Security, on ACEs, community education work, and on a targeted referrer list, which Jen Hansen, thank you for making me say referrer. That's a that's a fun one. So if we want to start, I think with Stacy and Circle of Security update.
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm Stacy. I'm the community engagement coordinator at the ZoNE. I'm sitting in this nice supply closet that isn't my office, I promise. I can share the flyer if you'd like to see that. Oh, I can't share the flyer.
You should be able to now.
Okay. But yeah, this is a really exciting time for the program, because we're at a transition, not only a transition from some of the like heavy virtual course delivery that we were doing, but also a transition co-facilitation. And this is that time in the project where we were able to allow residents and people who are invested in Northeast who might not live here, but still are able to come in and take the facilitation course and create that resiliency and saturate Northeast with secure attachment parenting, hopefully long after the grant is over. So I actually just spent the last 2 days meeting with a whole bunch of new facilitators to us in the zone, and new facilitators as in residents that we've trained. So there was a lot of work from the whole work group to reach out to Circle of Security International and start finding facilitators that are local to Spokane that want to contribute to this project. And it took Jennifer and Jene and myself, and then, MailChimp of the Circle of Security, but we were able to collect about 12 new facilitators and some that have worked with us before that are re-energized to come in and partner with newly trained residents to co-facilitate 10 more circles throughout the end of the year. And I did meet with, there were so many people filtering in. I just held Zoom meetings, and it was so fun to hear the facilitators' experience with Circle, and then get them excited again, and also our facilitators, our new resident ones. So I'm pairing up new resident facilitators with more experienced facilitators. We have a circle that will start in June, and then we actually will do a Spanish language circle also in June and July, and then just keep it going. So lots of energy, and I'm really excited to start hosting those in person. The difficulty, there were a number of difficulties holding them in the virtual space. Some of it was a technology barrier, either access to computers or access to utilities such as internet, for participants, caregivers, and parents to stay engaged in the circle. And our dropout rate was a lot to manage. But I think that with the childcare and in-person and having a centralized location here at Northeast Community Center to host these, not to mention the energy that's coming from facilitators, I think that they're going to be really successful going forward. So yeah, it wasn't a surprise that there were so many awesome facilitators in Spokane, but it was really nice to hear from them. We have an array of people from licensed therapists to, we had somebody who works for Circle of Security as a support staff, and he just has to be trained as part of his job, and he's excited to lead circles in Northeast, and he's a Northeast resident. So lots of fun connections, and a lot of people ready to take the course. I've made a couple of changes to coordinate this part of the project. One is the flyer and messaging that goes out, and then also just really framing the expectations for residents right at the front and pairing that with the rewards that we provide to them. So they're getting this, I'm continually recruiting. Anybody can sign up at any time. I check that queue and reach out to them with a template that says, oh, you let us know you were interested, and give them that next class. If that next class doesn't work for them, I still keep them and reach out to them again with the following class. So we're continually recruiting and reaching out to people, and we're also able to re-engage people who maybe dropped out because they didn't have the technology, or they just weren't ready for that within their capacity as a parent. So we have a large pool of participants that are ready to take the course. Do you guys have any questions about where we are with providing Circle of Security classes? I'm a fast talker, so.
Thank you, Stacy. You've been doing a lot of amazing work.
Thanks.
Have you? All right. With that, Jenna, Jen, do you want to talk about the ACEs Resilience Community Education?
I'm happy to do that. Rumiana's not on. Did you? I didn't see her.
I didn't see her on. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Rumiana, if you are on, just hop right in. But yes, Rumiana and Dr. Crump from Spokane Public Schools hosted one of multiple brown bag lunches around ACEs and resilience. And it was not as well attended as we thought it was going to be, because 93 people registered, and we were like, oh, wow, we have to rethink this whole game plan of breakouts, and around 40 people ended up attending, which is still a great turnout. The information was well received, and I know that Rumiana has had contact with multiple people that participated. One thing that I loved, I know that I have gone through many ACEs trainings, and I'm sure many of you on this call have gone through them as well. And one thing that I really appreciated about this training is that they talked about what the ACEs survey was and what it was not. And I just really appreciated that, because it is not a diagnostic tool. It was a survey, and they talked a lot about the limitations of what wasn't asked of the participants, including positive experiences. And so the presentation was able to end on a high note with the science behind hope, healthy outcomes from positive experiences. And that just has seemed like a piece that's been missing with ACEs education, is that, there's ACEs, and they're very common and definitely linked to health outcomes. And there are mitigating factors of positive experiences that we can all work on creating more of in our community. So yeah. So does anyone have any questions on that? The next one will be in September, and will be targeted with to families in Northeast, working closely with the ZoNE. Of course, how could we not? This whole project's based in the ZoNE, but working, and so so it should be I'm sure it'll be a great presentation. They're still trying to figure out the number of presentations they're doing. Once we're meeting in person, we do want to incentivize parents' attendance. And, online, we don't have to do that. So yeah, there are just some different opportunities there, but it went over really well.
Glad to hear. Thanks, Jen. I will go to your other piece here.
Perfect. So everyone just heard all the amazing things happening within the ZoNE, and with Stacy and her boundless energy that she brings to the ZoNE, which is so nice. And so the word is getting out about programming in many different ways, through social media, listservs, word of mouth, with things opening up more and more in-person meetings. We'll roll out promotional flyers once we can meet, once the circles are be able to be held in person, we can easily do targeted mailings to families within the zone, promoting Circle of Security and other programming. And with all of that, we, and you can switch the slide, please. Another component is this elite referrer list, which is not easy to say, but it's not a referral list, which is what most people have thought it was when I've reached out to them, thinking that, oh, sure, yeah, just list my name on the referral. And it's not a referral, it's a referrer list. So we are seeking providers that have direct access to families with young children, ages 0 to 6, that live within the zone. And that is a huge, there are a lot of people. And so the next slide. So our commitment about this referrer list is that you will not be inundated with emails. They will be very succinct and targeted emails with clear eligibility requirements for participation. So it will say exactly the zip code someone needs to live in, exactly what questions to ask, so that people aren't being turned away, or so people aren't being turned away. And so the ask in each email really is, you are part of this elite referrer list. And so we are asking you to refer, to really pay attention to these emails. We know that, all of our inboxes get inundated, and especially like shared emails can sometimes become like white noise. And the content within these emails will really be limited to parent enrichment programming within the zone. And eventually I would love to expand this outside of the zone, because it's really a need. A lot of providers in my conversations that I've had, they do not know where to send parents for parent enrichment to just make a parent's life easier. Where can parents meet other parents? Where can they learn about child development? All of these things that I'm sure the parents on this call have struggled with. I know that I definitely struggled with that when I became a parent. And so on the next slide, you'll see the, so who is currently on it. And this isn't, changes have been made since I sent this in yesterday. But so, targeting family serving organizations. So Nurse Family Partnership, WIC, CAPA, SNAP, CHAZ, DCYF. The connection there is to foster families, trying to really increase foster family participation. And I'm still waiting for the caseworkers who are assigned in Northeast specifically to share the information with them. The Community Health Worker Network, and then Head Starts in Northeast, MIA, Vanessa Behan, and Children's Home Society. I've had conversations with everyone here, and they have signed up. I'm still waiting to hear back from some of the Head Starts. First Steps through CHAZ, that is taking care of Lutheran. I have a contact now. Alt-Q, looking at kinship care and trying to bring in people in kinship care, because they are usually incredibly isolated and need resources. The city library is, tricky, because the Hilliard Library is under construction. Spokane Mama, I finally was able to connect with, and then ESIT, which is early supports for infants and toddlers. And the reason I don't have a person there is that the person I did have is leaving the health district, which is sad. And then I did reach out to Northwest Autism, and still need to reach out to the ARC and more medical providers and additional, I have some other names of CHAS employees to reach out to, but I will say that the overwhelming response has been excitement from people I've spoken with, because there's just, it's a gap. People don't know where to send people for parent enrichment opportunities. And so the next slide, so this is my ask. Do you want to join? Do you have access to families that live within the zone who have kids ages 0 to 6? And if you do, and you would be interested in knowing about these opportunities, let me know, and I will add you to the list of elite referrers. But I, especially as we're meeting in person, and I mean, 10 more circles to go in the zone, that's, you know, 80 parents right there that we're going to need for participation. And it would be great. It would be great if we could have them at the ready. So please let me know if you are interested. You can put it in the chat or email me. And if you have suggestions of who else I should be reaching out to, I would be happy to hear that as well. And so that's it.
Thank you so much. Wonderful. Got some good comments and feedback in our chat here. Seems like a smart strategy. All right. Well, our